This week we had a mass shooting 20 minutes from my house. And, I always look into the synchronicities of all the events. And what I realize is this. In the Bible, it says there is a time for peace and there's a time for war. There's a time to kill and there's a time to heal. And we're really going to dive into these passages in the Bible and also parts of the Tao Te Ching, chapter 29 specifically. Because we get to look at ourselves as a whole person. And what does it mean to look at ourselves as a whole person, right? We are all sinners and we are also saints. So yes, we can connect to the Jesus within us. We can connect to the Kuan Yin within us. We can connect to the saint inside us. But we cannot suppress and pretend that we don't also have a dark side. We can't suppress and pretend that we also don't have that which links us to the person who did the mass shooting. How long have we been suppressing the authority for which God has given each of us? And we keep running away pretending that we are not powerful at source. We keep pretending that somebody else is better than us. We keep pretending that we're not legitimate. Compassion is when we are listening, accepting, and receiving the other person. And we do that with our heart. The opposite of compassion is suppressing, denying, avoiding. When we experience a mass shooting, it's not like we're powerless victim. When are we ever going to have laws and legislation that change? It's really about going inside, right? Doing the inner work. What is it that I need to do that I am not doing? And stop procrastinating, stop pretending and running away. It's really funny because this week, since the mass shooting, I've been doing more farting than I've ever had. Feels like in the last 42 years of my life. And I don't think because I have more farts than I usually do, but it's that I really let go of my people-pleasing mask. I really let go of that good girl that, okay, you don't want to like make some bad smell to disturb other people, but no, like I need to be authentic. And so farting is about what do I need to let go? Why is finding compassion for our shadows critical now? Okay, we clearly have a mental health crisis, but it's not just mass shooting. We have a huge burnout issue. Guys, if we don't do the shadow work now, in 5 years, there will be no schools, no hospitals, because we have such a burnout problem. The doctors and nurses, they're quitting. Our public school teachers, they're quitting. In 5 years, there could be no schools for us to send our children to because there are no teachers. There can be no hospitals to go to because there are no doctors. And now Jay is going to tell us a little bit about the burnout problem and why it is urgent for us to address this.
Doctors, nurses, even lawyers. All these people are burned out and dissatisfied. Why? We don't value each other. We don't value the heart that we put into things. We have this emphasis on making the most money possible. And we do it sometimes, often, as you can see on the screen, at the expense of people's lives, of people's health, of people's mental health, of people's well-being. All of this stress goes right into our body, and it causes us disease long-term, right? So this is this is the real pandemic right here that we're looking at, right? People are the heart of an organization, right? People. We get to value each other. And that starts with valuing ourselves, right? We can't have a productive company with the current cancel culture we have, right? We all act like, oh, I don't like what you just said, so you're out. I'm done. I'm walking out, right? If people have a problem with their employee or their boss, right? If the people have a problem with their employee, fire them. Why wouldn't you, right? But at the same time, people who are working for organizations, when they get upset, they leave. It's just expected now. We just expect that if people, that people are going to leave soon. And so rather than making the situation within the companies so that people will want to stay, we just assume that people are going to leave and treat them like they're disposable.
How do we make each other, such as our family members, and in the workplace, our team members, feel loved, heard, appreciated, and important, right? Fundamentally, we want to get to the question, how can we motivate others to shine, to come into their source light, to serve at their highest capacity? Compassion is bringing acceptance to the situation. Light transformation is having the wisdom or taking the appropriate action to get out of the darkness. If there's one quote that I want to leave behind if I die tomorrow and I have a legacy, if we want a better world, look inside our body and heal ourselves. Why this is so relevant is, we could feel like a powerless victim to the world. Oh, there is, a natural disaster. There's COVID. There's more communicable diseases. There are more people getting cancer. There seems to be a lot of darkness in the world. So what can we do? What we can do is commit. Commit to what? Commit to the practice of opening our hearts to receive. And to receive is to receive the totality of the Tao. The totality of the Tao includes the light and the darkness, right? It includes the people who love guns and the people who want to regulate guns. And how can we have connection? We need to learn how to compromise. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I used to be allergic to the word compromise. I hate that word. Because I'm like, wait a minute. And, it's like either you're really pro-gun laws or you're really against gun laws. And most people care about being right, right? Do you like to be right? I like to be right. But here's the thing. If we always care about right, then we're just going to have infinite divisions. Feeling our feelings is part of what we need to heal. But numbing our feelings is also part of the Tao. And I'm here to give everybody permission if you need to numb and pretend that everything is fine. Because you know what? Sometimes I got to show up to work, right? I got bills to pay, right? If you're a doctor during COVID, maybe you're really scared, but you still have to glove up and put on the suit and go into the ER and hook that person up to the ventilator. Hey, maybe I will catch COVID and die myself. Maybe I'll catch COVID and what's going to happen, to my children. But sometimes we pretend we don't have fear because we need to show up for our community and survive that moment, which brings me to this idea that everything is okay. Okay, today we're learning about everything is okay. Just one sentence. Compassion is everything is okay. Most people think procrastination is a bad thing. They think denial, avoidance is a bad thing. But it is part of the Tao. Sometimes the totality of the truth is too much. Sometimes we literally cannot receive or digest anything because we're already running at our maximum capacity. Sometimes it is better to block and survive this moment. So please know that if your coping mechanism is blocking, denying, and suppressing and pretending that life is okay, maybe you go back to work and forgot about the mass shooting. Okay, maybe you just keep going and going. Please know that suppression is part of the Tao, so it's okay.
明心见性，明心见性，明心见性，明心见性。
And release.
I know I released a lot, so that's really, really great. So remember, today is part 1, okay? Compassion is open our heart to accept, right? So when there's some tragedy in your life, like a mass shooting, we practice surrendering, accepting. So next week, we're going to tap into the light, right? So compassion is half of the equation. The wisdom is the other half. So, and also I call this the men's special class because we're also going to talk about all kinds of kidney issues, and that tends to affect men more of the time. Please tune in for a class next week, especially if you're men, and if you know any men in your life that have any kind of fear, that's a really good class to come in on.
Sign up now on mindfulhealingheart.com/group-healing. Love you so much, and I look forward to leading you in your healing journey.